In real estate, your name is your brand. Your brand is your name. And when you take that on the internet, you'll own your own domain. You'll be asked to purchase your own domain. What is a domain when we talk about domains? When we talk about top-level domains first, and this is an important concept that you understand top-level domains. And the top-level domains, the most common top-level domain is .com. .com, .net, .org, .edu, .gov, .mil, those are top-level domains. You can't own a top-level domain. Those domains are specific categories. Now, after a number of years of those very basic domains, some new top-level domains were added. .biz, .name, .pro, .museum, .aero, .info, .coop, and we had about 10 top-level domains, and that's where it sat for quite a while. Now, people that were getting into the real estate business, and those people in the real estate business realized that they needed to own their own domains, and they realized they needed to own their own domains for two reasons. The first reason for an email address, and the second reason for a website address. So what they went out and did, and what you need to go out and do if you haven't done this already, is you need to own a second level domain. And again, the most famous top level is .com, and so your preference would be to own a .com top level domain. And actually, again, you wouldn't own the top level, you would own the second level of the top level. Some examples are yourname.com, yourteam.com, yourslogan.com, isellcapecod.com, isellsandiego.com. Those are second level domains. And once you secure a second level domain, and we would prefer that you secure those domains through internetcrusade.com, but once you secure the second level domain, yourname.com, again, you're going to use it for two things. You're going to use it for your website address. And so if somebody opens a browser and they type yourname.com into the browser, then the browser will find your website and display it on that computer. And so most people in the real estate industry have that correct. They understand that you use a second level domain for a website address, but this is where many of them fall down. They fail to use their domain name for their permanent email address. So the first and most important use of your domain is really to use it as a permanent email address. Now, this concept of a permanent email address, you can tie it to a permanent phone number. Your phone number is an asset of your business, and your email address is an asset of your business. A phone number is a way that people return to you to communicate with you when they want your service, because they know that phone number. That phone number is an asset of your business. You put that phone number on all your marketing materials, all your business cards. You give that phone number away on that business card to many, many people, 50,000 people. They have that phone number. And remember, the average term of home ownership is 5 to 8 years. And so when they decide to call you, hopefully you never changed phone numbers. Your phone number is an asset of your business. I was involved in the sale of a restaurant many years ago, and I was working with a business opportunities broker who knew enough to write into the offer to purchase that the phone number remained with the business, and happened to be a pizza business. And I had not thought of that before, but it made total sense to me, because how many times have you ordered a pizza, and when you order a pizza from your favorite pizza restaurant, you don't ask when the phone is answered if the same owner still owns that pizza restaurant. Typically what you'll do is you'll call and order a pepperoni pizza or whatever it is that's your preference, and you don't ask about the ownership. So that phone number is an asset. And if somebody owned a pizza restaurant and they sold that pizza restaurant, and if the primary revenue stream to that pizza restaurant was takeout, if the phone number didn't remain with the business, then the person buying the business would not receive what they had intended to receive, which is the business. The phone number is an asset of the business. The email address is no different. Your email address is an asset of your business. Now, another reason you don't want to change phone numbers or email addresses is you have to redo all of your marketing materials. So what does it take to have a permanent email address? You need a domain host, and you need a feature called email forwarding, a domain host and email forwarding. Now, this is how email forwarding works. We'll use one of our old friends, Dennis Waitley, as an example. Dennis Waitley owned the domain DennisWaitley.com. Now, he happened to get his email at America Online, and his email address was Dennis234 at AOL.com. But Dennis stopped telling people that his email address was dennis234@aol.com. He began telling everybody that his email address was dennis@denniswaitley.com. And mail sent to dennis@denniswaitley.com was then forwarded by his email forwarding account, was then forwarded to his AOL mailbox. And so when he went to get his mail, he continued to get his mail at his America Online account, but mail was being sent to dennis@denniswaitley.com. And then Dennis decided that he wanted to change internet service providers, and he went to one of these old-fashioned companies, Earthlink. And when he signed up at Earthlink, Earthlink gave Dennis a new email address, dennis@earthlink.net. Now, he didn't tell anybody that was his new email address. He didn't put that on his business cards. He didn't put that on his marketing materials. He continued to tell people that his email address was dennis@denniswaitley.com. So mail sent to dennis@denniswaitley.com. Well, he told one person. He told the company that forwards his email. He told them, mail sent to dennis@denniswaitley.com. Don't send it to America Online anymore. Send it to my Earthlink account. And so then Dennis decided that he would sign up at his cable company. And of course, when he signed up at his cable company gave him a new email address, dennis@thecablecompany.com. But he didn't tell anybody that was his new email address. He didn't put that on his business cards. He didn't put that on his marketing materials. He continued to tell people that his email address is dennis@denniswaitley.com. He had to tell one person. He had to tell the email host. Mail sent to dennis@denniswaitley.com. Don't send it to Earthlink. Now send it to my cable mailbox. And so now you know Dennis Waitley can change providers anytime he wants to change email providers, but what he always maintains is his email address. His email address, your email address, is an asset of your business, and you want to make sure that as you market that email address that people will always be able to reach you at that piece of email address. Here's an aside on email, and one of the reasons you want to send email to people is you want them to see your name. Real estate sales is about putting your name in front of people over and over and over again, always doing what you can to put your name in front of people over and over and over again. The average term of home ownership is 5 to 8 years. Actually, it's getting longer than that. And so what you have to do so that you're top of mind is put your name in front of people as often as you can. And one way to do that is by sending relevant email messages. And of course, in that email message should be your name. And if you have a permanent email address, that's exactly what will happen. Now here's a little tip about using email and printing your email address and your website address on your marketing materials. Use upper and lower case. The internet, the web, for email and for websites, it's not case sensitive. So it's not case sensitive. Take advantage of that on your marketing materials. Make your name stand out. Here's an example. Firstnamelastname.com. If you look at that, firstnamelastname.com, it's kind of hard to read it. But if you capitalize firstnamelastname.com, if you capitalize appropriately, it makes it easier to read. Jim's Head. I often thought Jim's Head was a location in North Carolina somewhere, but it's not. It's actually the name of a real estate professional, Jim Sheed. Another one, Jenner Hodes. When I first saw that, I didn't know what to make of it. It really didn't go together. It didn't represent anything to me, and then I saw it with the upper and lower case, and I realized it was Gene Rhodes, and it's a name, and you remember now that your name is your brand is your name, and you need to put your name in front of people over and over and over again, and you can do that with a permanent email address. And to have a permanent email address, you must have your own domain, and so you don't want to be my name, Saul@home.com, or Saul Klein@earthlink.net, or even Saul Klein@coldwellbanker.com. And I want to come back to that. I want to be Saul@saulklein.com. Or if I'm using a different top-level domain like .realtor, I want to be Saul@bettercallsaul.realtor, a domain that I own. But let's go back and talk a little bit about this using a brokerage franchise or a brokerage firm domain. When you go to work, when I first started selling real estate, I went to work for Century 21. Had there been email at the time, I can see my broker explaining to me that he would like me to use the email address saulklein@century21.com. saulklein@century21.com. Now, if I don't know a lot about email, I might say, what a great email address. I love it. It's a very professional email address. It's got my name in it. You know, it's not saulklein@yahoo.com or saulklein@gmail.com. It's got my name in it. It's got the name of my company in it, saulklein@century21.com. I love it. And so I take that email address, I put it on my business cards, I put it on my marketing materials, I give it away to everybody over about a 3-year period of time. I've given away 50,000 business cards with that email address on it. And I decide I'm going to go to work for Coldwell Banker. Now, have you ever known a realtor that worked at one brokerage firm and then decided to go to another brokerage firm for whatever reason? Now, when that happens, I go to work, I sit down at Coldwell Banker. Actually, before I go to work at Coldwell Banker, I sit down with the Coldwell Banker broker and I say, I'm coming to work for you. And my new broker, soon-to-be broker, says, great, Saul, we're glad that you're coming to work here at Coldwell Banker. As a matter of fact, we saved an email address for you. When you come to work here, your email address is going to be saulklein@coldwellbanker.com. saulklein@coldwellbanker.com. How do you like it? I said, God, I really love that email address. Has got my name in it, very professional, got the name of the company, saulklein@coldwellbanker.com. I love it. I put on my business cards, I put on my marketing materials, I give it away to everybody. Now, what happens to email sent to my old email address? What happens to the email sent to saulklein@century21.com? Will the old Century 21 broker forward all of those leads to the Coldwell Banker email address? And the answer is not in the universe that I exist. And so in real estate, remember that your customer base, that's your value. You're building a book of business. You want to take that book of business with you wherever you go. You're an independent contractor. You want to own your communication, and the only way you can do that is by owning your own domain and using it for a permanent email address. John Riley, how about another slide?
We're still rolling? Yeah.
Still rolling.
Okay.
Now, if you have a permanent email address, you can also look for other features, something like what we refer to as unlimited email addressing or star email forwarding, where you can actually make up as many email addresses as you want. Something called unlimited email addressing. Anything at you.com goes to you, and you can use this as a listing differentiator, as a tracking device. You can manage spam this way. So the way it works for me is anything at saulklein.com comes to me. Anything at saulklein.com. And all I have to do is make it up on the fly. I don't have to do any technology because anything at saulklein.com comes to me. If I'm going to run some ads, let's say I'm going to run an ad in the LA Times, the email address I might put in that ad is lat@saulklein.com. And if I'm going to run an ad in the New York Times, the email address I might put in that ad is nyt@saulklein.com. And if I'm going to run an ad in the Wall Street Journal, the email address that I might use is wsj@saulklein.com. Now, at the end of the month, I analyze the results of all of my marketing, and I see that I got no email addressed to lat@saulklein.com. I got 2 emails addressed to nyt@saulklein.com. And I got 827 emails addressed to wsj@saulklein.com. Well, I'm going to focus my advertising dollars next month on the Wall Street Journal, using email addresses to help you determine which marketing and advertising is actually working for you. Give me another one, John Riley. Give me another one. Okay, that's it on that.
Okay. So you're happy with the out? Do we have an ending? I don't know how that ended. It sounded a little.
You want to do an invitation to join us at Internet Crusade?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and shoot
You've
it.
got to have something to come out of that.
Yeah.
You can't just kind of
Yep.
blankly.
I'm going to do a summary.
Okay.
Yeah, and you finish up with something like, click the link below, learn more about Internet
Yeah,
Crusade, what we can do.
okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
So I'm just going to go ahead and give you a marker. Okay. And action.
In summary, you must own your own domain. Your first choice would be a .com domain, your name.com, your team.com, your slogan.com, and once you own that domain, of course you will point it to your website. The one thing you want to make sure you use it for is a permanent email address. The best company in the real estate industry to provide email and domain services is Internet Crusade. So visit us at internetcrusade.com, click the button below, and it'll take you right there.